Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Give and Go podcast with your host, Rajan Sharma, and my co-host, Jordan Taylor.
What? Is that a Marv Albert impression? Is that what you're trying to do right now? Marv Albert?
Yo, Marv is a hero, man. I'm just trying to draw some motivation from him, you know?
Yo, if you're going to do a Marv Albert impersonation, it's got to just be like way more over the top. Hello, NBA fans! Oh, he hits it from deep. Look at it go!
We've got a slobber knocker of a basketball podcast for you here today, folks. Let's give and go!
Slobber knocker!
Yeah, I don't know. I just remixed some WWE shit into there.
Marv Albert has never said the word slobber. How do you even use that in a basketball game? What kind of context is that?
Yo, there have been lots of slobber knockers. I don't know what you're talking about. Yo,
shit. Slobber knocker. I can't. Start this podcast. I can't do it.
All right, let's give and go.
Let's give and go.
Night. Give and go. Night.
NBA Give and Go.
All right, and we're back, and we are here with another one of our favorite segments. Jordan, take it away.
It's Fifi! It's free agent frenzy in the summer in basketball land. Officially now called Fifi Free Agent Frenzy. Rajan, how you doing?
Hey, man, it's all good. I'm out here in Prince George, BC, northern BC, and, trying to get this thing popping.
Is there nothing else to do in Prince George? Is that why we're doing a podcast right now?
There is nothing else to do here. Can confirm.
Oh, man. All right, Roger. Where are we taking us for the next installment of the NBA Free Agent Frenzy?
All right, man. Well, let's start it off with a legendary trade. We had a future Hall of Famer.
Trade alert.
Major trade alert. Carmelo Anthony was dealt to the Atlanta Hawks. Jordan, break it down for me.
Caca! The Hawks acquired Carmelo Anthony, Justin Anderson. I think the real prize out of this entire trade right here, Thunder Lottery's protected first-round pick. Meanwhile, the Thunder have acquired Dennis Schroeder, Timothy Luwawu Cabaret, and the 76ers, because the 76ers always get into every deal they can. They pick up Mike Muscala. I mean, a lot of rumbling over the summer. It was very apparent at a certain point after everybody looked at the financials of Oklahoma City Thunder re-signing Paul George. They're like, damn, we can't afford this team. This is an expensive team. And so by trading Carmelo Anthony away, they're able to save upwards of, $50 million, $100 million in luxury tax. And that's a lot of money. Like I said, big win here for the Hawks because they get a first-round pick out of this. But I also think that the Thunder made away pretty good in this trade. Dennis Schroeder was a great backup point guard when he was backing up in his beginning of the Atlanta Hawk days. Who is he playing behind, Rajan?
Yeah, well, now, of course, he's playing behind Russell Westbrook. But I agree. I think he slides in real nice as a, remember a couple years ago when Reggie Jackson was there backing up Russell Westbrook? I think Dennis Schroeder can kind of fill a similar role as a straight gunner that can just come in and take some pressure off Russ.
Agreed. And the second guy I want to chat about here is Luwawu Cabaret. Can you say his name? Luwawu Cabaret very quickly. I want to hear you say it 3 times fast.
Luwawu Cabaret. Luwawu Cabaret.
Why are you adding extra wow-woos in there?
I don't know, man. I feel like Borat, man. Like, wow, wow, we want. That's all I'm going to go with.
Wow, Regardless of how to pronounce his name, I think that this guy is super talented. I mean, trust the process days, he was their starting shooting guard. He could hit the 3-ball, and he could score in bunches. And you know what the Oklahoma City Thunder need the most? Guys who can sit around the 3-point line and score in bunches. I think if he can get something going here, he can slot in real well to that combo guard, combo forward spot behind Andre Roberson or even Paul George.
Yeah, and this could be a case of addition by subtraction for the OKC Thunder. You always kind of had Melo, who was kind of doing his own thing when Russ and Paul George seemed to have their own kind of thing going on and their own chemistry going on. I never thought Melo was a good fit there. But, maybe for this Atlanta Hawks team, Jordan, how's Melo going to be doing over there?
Trade alert.
Uh-oh.
We have just found out that the Hawks have waived Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, man. How they going to do a legend like that, man? They're just going to release an NBA legend, one of the greatest players in the history of their franchise? They're just going to release him?
I always wondered if you take a hit in your credibility as a Hall of Fame player if during your career you get waived.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Like I thought.
In fact, Carmelo's salary is 100% guaranteed in this wave. He will make every single dollar that he was supposed to make. He is made off.
Melo gets
big money. Big money bags.
I think there was a chart I saw earlier where, out of that 2003 draft class, Melo has made the most money of all of them. He likes to collect his checks and he doesn't care about, I think he's prioritized that over everything for the majority of his career.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been thinking about Melo a lot, and I mean, Raj, you and I had a great conversation offline about who is the better scorer, Kevin Durant prime or Carmelo Anthony in Denver prime. And I mean, you made me go back and watch film, watch some highlights, and just try to understand, how good of a scorer and talented of a player that Melo is.
Yeah,
but while his tenure in OKC short-lived and ultimately a failure, I've never really felt he was a big three. It was a big two with Melo in the corner trying to get his. And he's always been able to get his, which is the really weird thing. He had to play with AI. He's had to play with Amari Stoudemire for a year when it wasn't going well. He's always had other players around him that could score. Maybe not as effectively as he could. So, it's a shame that didn't work out. But now we've got a new headline because, Raj, are you ready for this?
Yo, what just happened?
The Houston Rockets have finally made a contract pen to paper. Melo's going to Houston after this entire ordeal.
Oh,
Raj, break it down for me as Melo as a Rocket.
Yo, so another piece of breaking news in this whole thing is that all of a sudden, Houston Melo is willing to sacrifice for the good of the team. Now, the latest reports out of Houston is that Melo will actually come off the bench.
What?
Off the bench, Jordan.
No, I don't think that's Melo saying that.
No,
I think
it's
that
not.
They're trying to convince him to do that, but at the same time, man, it's not. It's like Allen Iverson, man. When Allen Iverson went to Memphis, he's like, I'm not playing behind Mike Conley Jr., man. I'm Allen Iverson. I start where I go.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder if that's going to have a negative effect on this Rockets team because, the Vegas Odd Sharks, they kind of showed that once Melo was actually added to the Rockets, their chances of winning a championship actually went down.
That is so much disrespect on so many levels, and I love it.
I
love it so much that you could obtain a player on a veteran minimum, and they're like, you know what? You guys have less chance of winning now.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's literally self-destructed teams that he's gone on because of the fact that he's been so selfish. And he's playing with James Harden, and man, James Harden is not going to want to share the rock with 45-year-old Carmelo Anthony.
If there's one guy who I really think can get a lot out of Melo, it's Chris Paul. hashtag banana boat buddies. Chris Paul might be the difference between unlocking Hoodie Melo and playoff OKC Melo. And obviously a big difference in talent between those two guys.
There is.
I'm curious to see what they're going to do. Houston obviously lost all of their small forwards. All of them left.
Yeah,
signed somewhere else. They lost Trevor Ariza. They got back Gerald Green. Did they sign PJ Tucker again? I can't remember. But he's not effective offensively, right? It's a pure defensive stopper.
PJ's still on contract, but they lost Luke Richard and Ba Mute as well. So that's two big defenders that they're losing, and they only added Melo.
Guys for them in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly, right. And now with Melo coming in, you kind of wonder about team chemistry. When there's a fight between, Carmelo Anthony and James Harden inevitably yelling at each other, or maybe Mike D'Antoni, who has coached Melo before with the New York Knicks, which obviously did not go too well the first time. When there's a fight between those two, is Chris Paul going to side with James Harden, who he's developed a new bromance with? Or is he going to side with his banana boat buddy, with Carmelo Anthony? It's going to be some interesting storylines to see. But we both know that despite what happens, Melo and James Harden will both be letting defenders by them at will. Luckily, Clint Capela is back with the Rockets to meet their defenders at the rim. Jordan, what do you think of the deal? Clint Capela re-signing with the Houston Rockets for 5 years and $90 million.
I just want to say that I don't think Melo's a good fit. I do think defensively they are going to be a block of Swiss cheese. Old Chris Paul, James Harden, and Melo, so any guard will be able to run rampant on them. However, your point is made. The best center available, and arguably one of the best centers in this free agent class, locks in for 5 years, and he's only 23, Rajan. Dude's 23, and he's playing out of his mind. Now, you had talking about how I think about this deal. I mean, a lot of the news reports coming out of Houston was saying that Clint Capela's teams and agents and his group was saying, we want what Steven Adams got. And we think that we are as good, if not better, than Steven Adams. And Steve Adams, I think he got like a 4-year, $80 million deal or something along those lines. So it's kind of right there in terms of, what they're paying for a top quality center. Obviously, the league is moving away from centers, moving away from guys who can operate on the post and the low block. That's not really where the NBA is right now. Lots of three-pointers, fast break moving, moving your feet, not something the center's really good at. And we have seen, because the value of the TV market deal and all of these other big signings right when the salary cap got adjusted, that we're seeing a little bit of pushback this year. Guys not getting money that they think they deserve. Isaiah Thomas for one of them, Greg Monroe this year as well. A lot of guys not getting paid. So the fact that Capela was able to walk away with something that I think is comparable to the Steven Adams deal, that's pretty good in my mind. Raj, what you think?
I really thought he was going to hold out until he got the max contract he wanted, which obviously this is not the max contract he was looking for. A max deal would have paid him around $30 million a year, and he got less than 20. So, I think it was good negotiations by the Houston Rockets because they got him for fairly cheaper than I would have thought he would have gotten on the free agent market. But I guess, the market's just dictated it that way, where big men are not getting paid anymore. They really aren't. And unless you're one of these freak big men that can do it all on offense and defense, like an Anthony Davis or Karl Anthony Towns mold, you're not getting a max deal. It's just kind of what we've seen. And I was actually shocked by the deal that they came to terms. I really thought he was going to sign the 1-year qualifying offer and become an unrestricted free agent next year. But good on the Rockets. They signed him up. I think they got him a little cheaper than I would have paid him, to be honest.
I agree. I think he's definitely worth more. And like you said, right, the golden age of the center is Justin Timberlake. It's dead and gone. I mean, they talk about DeAndre Ayton being a game changer and how he can run as fast as John Wall in the NBA Combine and all these other things. So time will tell. A fun fact for you: when the salary cap did rise originally, Joakim Noah. Who else can I think of? There was a lot of centers who got paid and have not produced to their contract levels. Obviously, I just keep going back to Joakim Noah because
Mozgov got paid $16 million that year.
Mozgov got paid $60 million that year.
Biombo got $17 million a year that year.
Biombo did too. Thank you. See, so you're filling the gaps for me. So you look at those centers and how they got paid, and as a center, I would be really frustrated because I'm like, well, damn, like he got his. And now he messed it up for me. Now I'm not going to be able to get as much money, because the game is changing.
Yeah, you had all these really good centers this year signing for minimum deals. You had what? You had I think Dwight signed pretty cheap. You had Lopez signed for $2 million. It was just centers are not getting paid. And I think it's a trend, but. The new age center that can shoot threes, that can rebound, play a little defense, they are getting paid. And one of them that got paid very handsomely was Mr. Kevin Love.
Hey, we did it, Kevin. Oh, God. We won. I thought you were going to fucking help, Kevin, but we did it. I did it, Kevin. I'm so glad we won. Because I was going to kill you, Kevin. I was going to kill you in front of all these goddamn kids, Kevin. Choke you with your own fucking shoelaces, but we did it, baby. Cleveland!
Yeah, and Cleveland Cavaliers have paid their man, Kevin Love, a maximum deal. I believe, Jordan, it was 5-year, $150 million. Is that right?
That is pretty close to what I heard. It's a 4-year, $120 million extension onto one. So I think he's got 1 year left, then he's got another 4 years or so after. So it's going to be close to basically about 5 years, just under 150. Still, you got to admit, I think first off, the team needs to change their name to the Cleveland Cavaliers because there is no one else on that team. And now that LeBron James has left,
just ask Isaiah Thomas what he thinks of that team.
Cause y'all signed me and then y'all got mad that I was pooping. And I guess messing shit up. Cleveland was a shithole.
Exactly. This is Kevin Love's team. And a lot of people are excited from a fantasy basketball standpoint because they're like, we're going to get Minnesota Kevin Love back. Cleveland isn't making the playoffs, but we're going to get Minnesota Kevin Love in terms of production. This was a guy, we're talking 25 and 12 with a couple blocks, a couple three-pointers, and a couple steals every single night. And just watching that from a basketball perspective is what excites me. This is Cleveland trying to save face with its fans, saying that, we've learned from when the first time LeBron left us that it's not going to be the same, that we're going to be competitive, we're going to try all these different things, but at the end of the day, I just, head scratcher move for them. That's a big contract, and that's going to be locked in for a long time. So, Raj, what you think?
Well, you know what? When he was in Minnesota, he was a beast. And I think you're underselling him a little bit with that 25 and 12. He had seasons of 20, 28 points, 15 rebounds a game. He was putting up monster numbers for Minnesota. And I just don't know if that's the same Kevin Love that we'll see. He's just...
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to temper those expectations. I don't think we're going to see a 28 and 15 points per game, rebounds per game Kevin Love. Absolutely. I think we're going to see something close to that, but age and wear and all this playing with LeBron and excelling for perfection and the mental anguish that he's revealed with himself and saying that he's had some really dark moments in his life that he's trying to get through. I think it takes his toll on it, and it takes toll on his game.
Yeah, no doubt. So we'll see how Kevin Love does there. I still don't think the Cleveland Cavaliers will make the playoffs. I think they'll be on the outside looking in. They've got too many issues to try and resolve there. You got Tristan...
Speaking of teams that are going to be on the outside looking in at the East, Raj, we missed one of these after our epic debate of the Toronto Raptors Spurs Kawhi Leonard trade. The Bulls making noise, signing some of their top free agents off the market. One, they're able to re-sign Mr. Bounce himself, Zach LaVine. But as a side note and a little extra present to Chicago fans, along with their new pick, Wendell Carter, they're able to sign Jabari Parker on a 2-year, $20 million deal, and have officially built one of what looks to be the most exciting young cores within the NBA. Raj, what the Jabari Parker sign mean for the Windy City?
I was real excited about this signing. I was really, really excited about Jabari's potential, what he could bring to the city. He's a hometown guy. And then I heard his press conference, Jordan, and I started to scratch my head a little bit. Jabari, in his opening press conference, tells the Chicago media, they didn't pay me to play defense. You don't get paid to play defense in this league. He's like, I'm here to score the basketball. That's it. Jordan, if you are a Chicago Bulls fan right now, how are you not pulling out your hair already? You can't come out here.
It's only a 2-year deal.
It's
only a 2-year deal.
Jordan.
You know what? If you don't turn out in 2 years, we can walk away hands-free, and we're not going to make the playoffs this year or next year.
No, you can't come out there and say that. That's just like, I think he wants to temper expectations with the home crowd a little bit. I think people get really excited, start talking playoffs for the Bulls, and he's like, guys, I don't move on defense. I ain't trying to get nobody's hopes up. I'm here to score, and we'll see.
Hey man, he's got 2 new ACLs. You had to replace his ACL twice. He ain't got to move if he don't have to. Exactly.
He can move, man. And they just gave him $40 million over 2 years. God damn.
Honestly, I think it's a good risk to take. I mean, at his peak in Milwaukee, the dude was averaging 20 points and 8 rebounds a game, and was doing it very efficiently as a combo forward. He could go that small ball power forward, which everybody loves these days, and he can operate on the outside a little bit. So for the Bulls, you know what? Throw some money. We got nothing else to do with it right now. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, he's got some major potential, man. So we'll see. I wish Jabari the best of luck. And another man.
Speaking of major potential, have you got somebody else on your list on our Fifi of the free agent frenzy that you need us to talk about?
Damn right, man. I'm about that free Jah movement. We want Jahlil Okafor to finally be freed. And he is going to be getting his chance with the New Orleans Pelicans. Jordan, you must have been creeping his IG today. You must have seen the photos, Jordan. My man's Jahlil Okafor has come back. He's dropped 16 pounds. He's looking slim. He is ready to wreak havoc on the league. Finally, Jordan. Finally.
Okay, first off, I dropped 16 pounds the morning after Wing Wednesday, so let's not all get too excited here. Secondly, I too support the free Jah movement. What I still don't understand is the boy couldn't even get a veteran's minimum. He had to basically get a partially guaranteed training camp deal. He's got a preseason. He's got till the end of the preseason to get that contract signed, to get his whole thing figured out with the Pelicans. And honestly, the death of the center is so apparent that I think he might have a hard time making that team. Honestly. For a center who doesn't play defense and can't run the floor, I really hope that losing that 16 pounds on him is really going to make a difference, because from what we've seen from his game, he's a one-trick pony, man. And it's good trick, but it's not NBA level anymore.
Yo, but we haven't seen skinny Jahlil. We haven't seen skinny Jahlil running up and down that court yet. We'll see what he brings to the Pelicans this upcoming season.
Hey, what do you think about the Raptors signing Greg Monroe, who is considered, in my personal opinion, maybe an older, more skilled NBA veteran type of player that I could see Jahlil Okafor becoming? What do you think about Raptors maybe not signing Jahlil Okafor and we're going with Greg Monroe instead? Because I honestly think that Jah would be the better player.
To be honest, I didn't really understand the Greg Monroe signing. I didn't really feel like it was necessary, per se. I mean, he's a very similar player to Jonas Valanciunas, who we already have on the roster. I really thought that they should have tried to bring back somebody more like, Bebe. I thought Lucas Nogueira would have been a better fit because he can protect the rim a little bit better. To be honest, I didn't really see the fit for the Raptors with Greg Monroe. Jordan, what do you think?
Interesting. Death for the center. That's fair. I'm moving on to Jahlil Okafor's old team. Not the Brooklyn Nets. The OG team. The trust the process. Philadelphia 76ers. Sam Hinkie died for our sins. Rajan. Can you believe that another rookie from the Philadelphia 76ers has gone down with a long-term injury before the start of the NBA season?
Womp, womp, womp.
It happened again. Philadelphia 76ers first-round pick, Zar Smith. He has broken his foot in a training exercise. Working out. Just doing those IG workouts, man. He's damaged his foot. He's going to be out for a couple more months. Joel Embiid, the man, immediately rushes to social media and he says, the Twitter curse is real. We're talking about Nerlens Noel. Jahlil Okafor is probably the only one who didn't get injured out of that group. Ben Simmons was out for a year. Joel Embiid was out for a year. Almost 2. Like, what is in the water in Philadelphia, man? Is the cheesesteaks that bad? Like, should you just stay away? Or, like, is the training team that bad? Like, what's going on?
Man, I ain't even surprised at this point. This is just the rookie initiation for the Philadelphia 76ers at this point, man. Initiation is complete. Now he's going to sit out his redshirt year like all the Sixers greats have been doing. And then he'll come back next year stronger, man. Like, I don't want to say it's karma, but they did that dude's mother real wrong in that draft day. I don't know, man. Maybe they should have hung on to the hometown kid.
Mikal Bridges. Oh, you're talking about the Mikal Bridges for Zar Smith trade at the
I'm talking
draft.
about Mikal Bridges' mom, man. They did her dirty, and now their first-round pick, Zaire Smith, has gone down with an injury. Hey, who's to say Mikal Bridges might not have gotten injured too if he stayed on the Sixers? Maybe this is a
Mikal
blessing
Bridges'
for
mom
him.
just kind of walks into the workout room, just kind of drops some water on the floor. I said, "Whoa, so I gotta get out of here."
Yeah,
a little revenge there. Nah, no. But
has anyone checked Brian Colangelo's burner accounts lately?
Yeah.
What's
Check
going
the
on
burner
there?
accounts, PC, man. He'll know what's up.
You'll know what happened.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, like, this might just be a basketball god thing.
Yeah, in all seriousness, we wish Zaire Smith a healthy recovery. You and I have both been through our fair share of injuries here. We know how the struggle is, how that grind is.
Hey, man, shout out to Zaire Smith. It's all love from the give and go.
Yeah,
Sending brotherly love back to you, man. Hope you get speed recovery so you can start crowning on them dudes like you were in college, my man.
Between the two of us, we've only got about 2 ACLs, so like we know what you're talking about, man. We know how you feel. So, all right, Jordan. Now let's switch it up a little bit here, man. Let's talk about a little bit of action over in LA. So the LA Clippers, who are gearing up for free agency next year, have just announced that Bruce Bowen will not be brought back as a TV analyst.
What?
Now,
why they do Bruce dirty like that?
Seems kind of odd, right? Well, Bruce Bowen was in the media. He was out there talking smack about how Kawhi Leonard was being a little soft. How Kawhi Leonard did the Spurs organization dirty. And instantly, he gets the axe from the Clippers. Jordan, what is going on? Clippers are not messing around with free agency.
Hey, man, when you just had LeBron go to LA, the chance that anybody want to come play for the Clippers right now is like 0 to none. So if they have an inkling of a chance that Kawhi says, I don't like to play with LeBron, I'll go just play in LA, and they have it, you know they're going to take it. I mean, I find this hilarious, honestly, because that's his job, is to give opinions, and he can even have a little bit of opinion here because he was a Spur player. But let's not get this confused. Bruce Bowen was a dirty basketball player for the majority of his career. He stays in my mind as the one guy who really just messed with the Phoenix Suns when I started watching basketball passionately in 2007, and did all that stuff in the playoffs to Steve Nash, Raja Bell, Boris Diaw, foot under the ankle on the jump shot, hand in the face, tapping the elbow. It's all this little ticky-tack stuff that they don't get away with anymore because of Bruce Bowen. What used to be Bruce Bowen culture is now, no, that is not allowed in the NBA, and they've really come down on it now. So I'm kind of glad, because I hate Bruce Bowen. Regardless of how talented, we play NBA player, man, I hate Bruce Bowen because you took a chip from Steve Nash, Captain Canada, as Canadians here. That hurts.
Oh my God.
That hurts me a lot.
Jordan getting his feelings about Bruce Bowen over here. Jordan, Bruce Bowen, I think they did him dirty. I think they did Bruce Bowen dirty here. Jerry West, he does not I don't think Kawhi is going to be leaving Raptorland. I'm in the 1% who believes he will resign. And, call me a Raptors homer, whatever you got to call me. But
hey, listen, listen. Just listen right now. Listen, do you hear that?
What's that?
That's the sound of Kawhi not saying anything good or bad about Toronto. You enjoy that.
Man.
You enjoy that for another year.
Yo, Kawhi. Speaking of Kawhi, you read his letter, his supposed letter to the city of San Antonio.
I did read. I think he got that off a Hallmark card I got my mom for her birthday a couple of years ago.
Oh, damn right, man. There is no way in hell that Kawhi wrote that letter himself. There is no way. That was so non-genuine. That was so just... Did his uncle write that letter for him, Jordan?
What was the one line in it? It was something about ups and downs.
Yeah. Here, I got his letter right here, man. It's was this Comic Sans? What is this font? First of all, hold on.
It's Comic Sans.
Yeah, Comic Sans, man. So let's see. So here's his letter, San Antonio. I've been going back and forth the last few weeks trying to figure out the right words to say, and it comes down to simple, thank you, in all caps. Now, this seems to be a theme. He's got 6 paragraphs, and in each paragraph, he's got a caps lock thank you in there. And so he thanks his city, thanks the organization, and in the end, he says, through all the ups and downs, I'm glad there were more ups. I'll never forget what we have shared and accomplished together. Thank you. Jordan, that ain't Kawhi.
Ups and downs. I'm glad there were more ups.
Yeah, that's there's like a child. Uncle Dennis wrote this shit. Maybe his nephew wrote this shit. That was not Kawhi. That's definitely not Kawhi.
What I gotta admit though, he did bring them a chip. So yeah, that's a little more ups than downs. Agreed.
Okay, but who writes a letter like this? It was not emotional. It's like, when he's like an alien trying to disguise as a human being. Look, I have feelings too. I have emotions. That ain't Kawhi. Oh man,
that's a monster in disguise.
Oh,
Kawhi's
straight
a
up.
Monster in disguise.
Yo, straight up. That's why.
Shout out to Raj Sharma, because the boy can read and read that lovely letter to us on the podcast. Thank you so much. You're so talented.
Thanks, bro. It's one of my many skills.
Hey, where'd you get those skills? You go to university or something?
Yeah, man. Same university as Robert Williams. Jordan, you see he just bought a new place in Boston?
I did. I heard good things about the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah?
I heard it's close to a bunch of amenities, like the Boston Celtics practice gym.
Oh, man. He won't be late anymore now, right?
Robert Williams has missed 3 separate events, two being his press conference introductions because he, quote unquote, slept in, and then one practice with the Boston Celtics Summer League team in which he missed his flight. It's also been reported numerous times that since being drafted, he's lost his wallet 2 to 3 times and was not able to recover it. Raj, I think there's a reason he fell. This guy seems like he's a train wreck when he's not on the basketball court.
Yeah, man, there must be something else going on, man. Like, this seems like a failed test to me, Jordan. This is we need to get Adam Silver on that drug testing policy. I don't know what's going on with Robert Williams, man. You can't be this lazy and this just... He's got so much talent, Jordan, and he's just throwing it all away here.
Hey, man, Nike T-shirts, Nike. You see all of the best slogans on the least talented people at pickup basketball, and lazy but talented is probably one of my favorite ones. Because I know if I'm going to pick his ass up, then I'm going to blow by him on defense and offense and in the middle and on the side. He has no chance against me. I just, not saying that I have a chance against Robert Williams. I'm just thinking that, you got to apply yourself, my man. And, I get it. It's tough. But you got to figure it out because you only get one chance in the big leagues. Honestly. No, not very rarely do people get 2 chances.
It's true, man. But, he may be already counting them checks. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, listen. I think this sums up our podcast. Episode 2, Fifi, Free Agent Frenzy for the Give and Go podcast. Remember, kids, you can always find us at Facebook, Twitter, and SoundCloud at the Give, the letter N, Go podcast. We're on YouTube, we're on Google Play Store, and we're on iTunes. And we can be found wherever your favorite podcasts are listened to. This has been the Give and Go podcast with your hosts, Raj and Jordan. We've given you the information, now go do something with it.
You're supposed to say give and go.
Give and go. Get them checks.
And
Get them checks.
And we out, man.